Hello and welcome to the inside of the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. Now, this car means the world to me. It was my first dream car. It was every kid that was into cars when they grew up wanting a Lamborghini, and this one was mine. The Aventador came out in 2012. And this car came out in 2018. I was actually at the European debut of the Aventador SVJ at Blenheim Palace in 2018, and I was I was absolutely blown away. I love this car. I don't need to drive it. I look at it and I know I want it, and that's what a supercar should be, and that's what this is to every degree. The interior it's lovely. Everything is leather. This has masses of carbon fibre. These seats are Alcantara and stitched leather. The steering wheel, leather, Alcantara. The dashboard, carbon fibre. The door cards are huge slabs of carbon fibre. I dread to think how much this costs. Even the headlining has a leather insert surrounded by Alcantara. It's a complete step above what I would expect. Actually, it's a step above what I would expect. The buttons are plastic, but I mean, I don't care. I don't care if at the end of the day, I don't care if this car's interior was, worse than a £30,000 Toyota. It's all about the experience, and that engine behind me is all of that. It's a 6.5 litre naturally aspirated V12. When the Aventador first came out in 2012, it produced 690 horsepower, and this model here produces 770 to all four wheels via a 7-speed single clutch semi-automatic, which is a very old clunky gearbox on the up and down shifts. But this car is absolutely incredible. I've never sat in an Aventador up to this point. Even here is this bit. You're never going to touch this. This is carbon fibre. These bucket seats are backed in carbon fibre, and they're very adjustable, of course, to get your racing position. The door handles are leather loops, give that race car feel, and of course they've got wow, that is really solid. They've got the start stop button, the classic fighter jet kind of flip up the lid, press the button. This car the Aventador itself is kind of based off of a concept from the early 2000s called the Reventon, and it was styled like a fighter jet. It was a very limited run, expensive vehicle. And then they released the Aventador, and it carried along most of its styling cues, namely the novelty that's now in every Lamborghini. To the Urus in front of me, the Huracan around the corner, is that big start-stop button, and I love it. Absolutely love it. No, but you'd expect kind of an Italian supercar to, I would say, fall short in the interior department. And I mean, sure, there are a few things that I could pick at if I'm being truly picky. What is it? If I'm being really picky, there are a few bits like this. There's huge panel gaps between this carbon fibre door card and the rest of the car. I mean, huge. I can swipe my entire hand down that panel gap, but I don't care. You shouldn't care. If you're looking for something like that in this, and that puts you off buying it, you shouldn't. You're looking for the wrong car. You're looking for the wrong car. And I mean, it has one cup holder, one cup holder back here, and a storage net of some sort, and some rubberized grip stuff so you can put a few things like a briefcase or something, maybe a very, very small briefcase. Oh, but this car, it's got so much theatre. Every angle is crazy, it's sharp, it's pointed, it's aggressive, it looks like it's going to go fast. It looks like it's going fast, even standing still. And I've always loved that about the Aventador. It's my dream Lamborghini, and this is my first time ever sitting in one, and I'm over the moon. In terms of space, I can, in this seating position, I can reach the pedals perfectly. Oh, that brake is a very short throw, and so is the accelerator. Very, very short throw. But no, I fit nicely. My head, it's got about that much room between my head and the ceiling. So if you're over 6 foot, you might struggle. I'm 6 foot bang on, so yeah. But no, legroom, obviously it's fine. It's a coupe. You've got loads of legroom. Yeah, I mean, it's interior. There's a lot of buttons. ESC off, seat adjustment. It's got heated seats. I don't know if it's got cooled seats, but it's got heated ones. I'm just grateful that this car exists in today's day and age. You know, every manufacturer is downsizing their engines and adding turbochargers and, you know, mild hybrid technology to make them more fuel efficient. Lamborghini, bigger V12, just more power in the same engine. But this is the last, I believe, naturally aspirated V12 that Lamborghini is ever going to make, which is a shame, because it's probably my favourite sounding car ever made. One of. I know there are a lot of fantastic sounding cars, but this, in today's day and age, to still be able to make the noise like it does and shoot huge flames out of the rear exhausts, it's a masterpiece, and there's nothing more I could want from this car. Nothing more. So, in terms of this car's performance specifications, the 6.5 litre naturally aspirated V12 with 770 brake horsepower to all four wheels using this 7-speed single clutch automated gearbox. This will hit 60 miles an hour in 2.8 seconds and will go into a top speed of 217 miles per hour. Those are some very, very big numbers. Very big numbers. In terms of 0 to 60, the original Aventador did 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds, 2.9. So for this, with a 70 horsepower increase over that model, to still do 60 in 2.8, it doesn't sound that impressive, but believe me, it's more than fast enough. And this is the current, at the time of this video, it's the current Nürburgring production car lap record holder, which is incredible considering the gearbox is so out of date. Most manufacturers are switching to dual clutch automatic gearboxes nowadays. Even Lamborghini's own Huracan and Urus use a dual clutch gearbox, but this one, a bit of a dinosaur in comparison with its old engine, but this is my favourite Lamborghini. And if you're expecting me to tell you, it's got a bit cheap plastic here and it's not really worth buying, this isn't a car you judge off interior quality. It's a car you judge off of driving experience, how it looks, how it feels, how it sounds. And there's no question the Aventador SVJ ticks every single box for a supercar. It's magnificent, and it is my dream car, and I'm honoured to have been able to sit in it and film it for the day. It's really something else. I expected it to be one of those moments where it's don't meet your heroes. You know, I was prepared to sit in this car and see loads of cheap plastic, and it to feel and look a bit bland, but this is incredible. Just sitting there with a huge carbon fibre display in front of me, a big Lamborghini badge in the centre of the steering wheel, the big F1 fighter pilot style start-stop button, this massive array of carbon fibre. It's an incredibly special place to be. You know, everything is a nice material. Upper dash is Alcantara stitched. It's just carbon fibre leather and Alcantara everywhere, and it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It even smells. It smells like the materials. I can smell the leather. I can smell the Alcantara. You know, I'm beside myself. I really am. It's such a special place to sit and be. Wow. Now, these gear paddles here, the downshift, upshift, they are magnificent. They're column mounted, so they don't turn with the steering wheel. They are where you left them when you turn the wheel, and they're definitely, I think they're definitely aluminium, because they're cold metal, and they feel heavy, and there's a satisfying clunk when you click them. I don't know if you can hear that. Oh, and they've got much nicer than BMWs, but then again, I'd expect that. This is a 350,000 pound car, so I would expect that. Now, in terms of the way this thing looks, it's got Lamborghini's ALA active aerodynamic system, helping it channel air around the car. You see it over the standard Aventador. You see this huge new aggressive front splitter, these even bigger air intakes on the sides, this huge rear wing, the air ducts all over the car, and they're all functional. They're all completely functional, and they're what help this car achieve the lap times that it does. And it just looks amazing. There's no angle on this car where it doesn't scream. It doesn't scream, "Look at me." If you have an Aventador, you are 1, extremely lucky, 2, extremely rich, and 3, definitely going to get attention everywhere you go. It doesn't matter if you're parked, driving slowly, or flooring it. You will get attention everywhere with this. Buy this car. I haven't got a bad word to say about this car. I can't. Admittedly, I'm quite biased, but I'm lost for words. I've never been sat in a car and lost for words before. Every bit of this car I look at, I will show you the quirks and features, but there aren't really many. I mean, I told you about the CD player down there, which is incredibly awkward, and I can't imagine putting a CD in there. But I don't know if you could live with this car on a daily basis. The gear changes aren't that smooth. It's incredibly loud. The ride is probably quite firm, especially on the roads where I live in around the Cotswolds. Everyone will know the potholes are terrible, but just buy one. And in an age where cars like this are potentially soon to die out and go extinct, I think this car represents something that we may never see again in the automotive industry. You know, with current regulation, I mean, this car itself already breaks several regulations about noise limits and fuel efficiency and CO2 emissions, but they can kind of get away with it somehow. I don't know, but thank God they do. So now, of course, I have to say a huge thank you to Lamborghini in Pangbourne for, giving me the chance to film with this car, letting me walk around it, handing me the keys, giving me a proper feel for the interior and the exterior of this car. Like I said, I went to the SVJ European debut, one of the first in the world to see this car, back in 2018. And the effect is not worn off. I've seen many SVJs, many SVJs up close, chat to owners, but sitting above myself is it doesn't take away from how incredible this car is. So, final opinion, buy one. I wish I could. Thank you.